Hey guys, Julie Salant, how are you today? Just wanted to give you a quick podcast today. I know this is Cyber Week. We've already passed Cyber Monday. We're going into Cyber Week, and I wanted to give you a podcast because I am now offering a 3 month and a 6 month membership, and it's basically for a mastermind for creatives and spiritual entrepreneurs. Those of us, and you can be both. You don't have to be just one or the other. I know I'm both. I write, I draw a little bit, and I do a lot of different things. As you know, I'm an intuitive healer, and I also work with animals, and I'm animal communicator. So I'm sure there are so many of you out there that are vastly multitasking, multi-talented people. And I thought that today, since it's Giving Tuesday, would be a really great day to kind of give you some insight into how these masterminds will be working, and to give you some content, right? Because I'm not all about, just trying to get you to buy something. I want to give you some good information that you can use right now that will help you. So one of the first parts of the mastermind will be the foundation part, which is to understand your gifts. And my question to you is this: do you know what your gifts are? Right? Because identifying your gifts is huge for you to fulfill your soul's mission here on earth, what you were put on earth to do. And every one of you that's listening to me right now signed up to be here at this time, going through this kind of crazy transition that the world's going through. And everybody globally is affected by all of what's happening around us. We all know in the last year, this has definitely been a year of change. To put it mildly, so many of us, we haven't been able to go to restaurants. Our new normal is wearing face masks and washing our hands, and some of us have lost people, unfortunately. We are all different than we were at the very beginning of the year before this whole healthcare COVID-19 thing started. So what's happened, and I bring this up for a reason, a lot of the times what's happened is the earth is shaking us up, right? And Mother Earth is saying, you guys need to look and help me and change because I'm dying. We've got, forest fires, and the animals have nowhere to live. We're running out of room, and everyone knows the climate is a big concern. But what's happened to humans, a lot of my clients have been finding that their whole lives are changing and have been flipped upside down, not necessarily because of the healthcare crisis, but because of the way that they're being forced to change, right? You may have been the type of person that went into an office every day from 9 to 5. Now you're working from home. You may have been the type of person that had a big team around you and traveled all the time. I used to travel all the time for my business. And now traveling is pretty limited, if at all. Many countries have actually closed their borders, not once, twice. So traveling can be on hold, and that can really put a damper on what you're trying to accomplish if that's your job. So what's happened is that many people have found that what had been working for them is no longer working. In other words, let's just say that, you've been at your job for 8 years and everything's been going great. And you may have either loved it, or you may have fallen into the category of, well, it's okay. It's not my favorite thing, but it's okay. I do it for the money. It keeps food on the table. And I'll get to whatever I really want to do and figure that out later on, you know what I mean, in another year or two, whenever I get some time. But a lot of us have understood that these changes have made it a difference in how we are moving forward or unable to move forward, because you may have noticed that you might be one of those people that it's all of a sudden not working. All of a sudden, your job is not working anymore for you. You're unfulfilled. You're not happy. You're angry. You're frustrated. A lot of people have found that their spouses that have very long marriages or have been with partners for a very long time is no longer working. So things that were rock solid in your life may now have come to the point where they're not working anymore. In fact, they're not working would be an understatement. They're broken. And that's because you have changed as a person. Your outlook has changed. You're being forced to re-examine what is and what's not working for you. So this is a good thing. Everything that's happening is not happening to us, it's happening for us. And remember that no matter how difficult these are lessons, right? They're not something that's meant to hurt you. They're meant to help you grow as a person. So one of the first things that we do is we want to identify your gifts. And my question always is this: do you know what your gifts are? Right? It seems so simple, but I can tell you from my experience, I was always a constant people pleaser. I did things for my parents and wanted to please everybody to the point that I would put aside my own feelings of happiness and I would do what they wanted me to do. And I'm not blaming them because this was my decision. And I realize now that there was a purpose for this, but it was very difficult for me professionally for many, many years because I was doing things where I was successful, but it really wasn't where I was supposed to be. I wasn't using my gifts. I wasn't using my talents. I was bringing home the paycheck. And on paper, as I always say, everything looked great, but really it wasn't great. Really, I was very unhappy. I was stressed out. I was doing something that was difficult and didn't make me happy at the end of the day, and really took everything I had because I'm an intuitive healer and I speak with animals and I help people find and leverage their gifts and then bring them to their soul's purpose and teach them how to get there. And doing what I was doing in the IT world was not that. It was just very different. So if you are one of those people and you have taken a sidestep and you've been pleasing others for either a short time or a very long time, it could have been your whole life, like me, was my whole life. It's time to think about what you want. And if you haven't been using your gifts, this is the perfect time to really stop and think about, okay, what is it that I'm good at? How can you identify your gifts? That's the question, right? So here are a couple of questions to ask yourself and think about. What are you insanely good at that not everybody can do? And I'll give you an example. I can write very well. Writing is easy for me. I've always been a writer. It's always come naturally to me. I've got books. I've got so much writing that I need to transcribe that it's kind of off the charts. I need help with it because I write all the time. My sister, on the other hand, really struggles with writing. She's not very good at it. She can write decently, but it takes her a long time. It's kind of like pulling out the information from her. It's not easy. It doesn't flow. And she always used to say to me, you write so easily. It's so easy for you. You're fluent with it. And I'd say, yeah, I'm good at it. I'm okay at it. She's like, no, you're good at it because not everybody can do that. So recognizing what you're good at that other people may struggle with is an indicator that that's a gift. It could be something creative like making videos and content and documentaries. It could be that you're great at sales. It could be that you're great at numbers, whatever that is. And as a spiritual entrepreneur, you may be someone who really helps people transform their lives, right? From the inside out. You may help them with mindset work. You may help them with healing work, whatever that looks like. So whatever you're good at, and maybe other people, you need to think about this, other people can't do what you do at all, that's an indicator of a gift. Okay, number one. So what do you do and do people tell you that you're really good at? Okay, that's number one. And then it's also, the second thing is what comes easily to you. And this should be very easy for you. You shouldn't have to think about it. It shouldn't be hard. And then the third thing is, and I'm sure you've heard this before, is what would you do this for free? Because I know that some of my gifts, and I'm smiling if you can't see my face, my gifts transform people's lives, as I'm sure your gifts do. And it lights me up and makes me so happy when I see somebody actually receive information from spirit and God and the universe, and they get put on their path and it's suddenly illuminated for them. It's amazing. It's an amazing feeling for me to facilitate that and to show them this is what you were born to do. So you were put here to make moves, to have a massive impact, and to show your talents off, right? So think about what you're good at and that you would do this because you love it so much and it comes easily to you. You do it for free if you could, and you can. Okay, that's the good news. And the second thing I want to ask you is, what stopped you from moving forward in the past to doing this? Now, for me, I mentioned it was people pleasing. There was also a fear. I knew that I had power, and you may know this too, but a lot of times we get nervous and scared of our power because we don't know how that's going to affect others if we let it out of the box all the way. A lot of times it's on a more practical approach. We may think, how can I make money at this? Can I really make money at this motivating people? Can I really make money healing people? Of course, the answer is yes. But back in the day, I didn't recognize that. I thought the answer was no. I really didn't think that this was even possible. And so I would shut myself down. So you need to understand what's been stopping you. Is it timing? Do you need to go back to school? Do you need to mentor with somebody? Is it lack of money to get to the place where you can do what you need to do? Is it a lack of drive? Or is it just not about having goals set? You don't know how to get there. You may have all these talents, but there are two things that I found that really stop people. And one is they know what their gifts are, but they don't know how to leverage them. And when I say leverage them, I also include education in there. They don't know how to use their tools and their gifts to help others in a great way. So it's like, I know I'm good at ABC, but I don't really know how to use it to my benefit and to help others. And then the second part of that is how to make the impact that you really want to make. You don't have the goals or the illuminated path that you truly need. You don't know how to get from A to B. And that's where a lot of people suffer. I was there for a long time. So don't beat yourself up if you've been in this position for a while, because I was stuck there for quite a long time. But at the end of the day, I want you to know that it doesn't come down to really any of those things, because everything you can figure out, right? You can figure out a path easily. You can learn how to use your gifts, and there's always a way. But what really it is about is maybe fear is stopping you. Maybe you're so afraid, and this can be subconscious. Don't forget, a lot of times, excuse me, a lot of times it's not conscious, it's subconscious. And we're thinking consciously, yes, I want to make $1 million. Yes, I want to use my gifts. Yes, I want to impact people on a massive level. But subconsciously, you're pulling back because you're scared, you're nervous, you don't know how to do this. And that will hold you back every time. So you've got to really think about subconsciously what is underneath the covers. What's stopping you? Because if it's money, if it's training, if it's learning to use your gifts, if it's finding a path and setting goals, we can figure all that stuff out together. But if it's subconscious and it's saying something like, I'm afraid to be successful because I'm afraid to be seen, this is something that a lot of creatives and spiritual entrepreneurs struggle with, because a lot of times we were told that we need to tone down our gifts or really to even shut them off. And we have done that. I did that for years because we wanted to people please, because we wanted to be accepted, because we didn't want to stand out and be different. But really, in reality, that's what you were born to do, is to stand out and be different, because no one can do what you can do. But if you have the fear inside of you that I'm afraid of success because I'm afraid to be seen, I'm afraid I won't be accepted, I'm afraid that no one will understand me or get my vision, which I thought for a long time, which by the way is baloney. Guys, just want you to know that that's just a stupid fear and illusions. Most of these illusions are just fears that you have that are not real. They are illusions, right? So it's important to know that sometimes your brain and your mind can play tricks on you. But if you have any of these subconscious fears, they will definitely stop you from moving forward and from getting to where you want to be. So that's where the conflict comes, because consciously you can be saying to yourself, yeah, I want to be successful. I have everything I need inside of me. It's going to be awesome. And then you get distracted, you lose focus, you don't make those moves that you should do on a daily basis. And then nothing changes. And then, 6 months goes by and a year goes by, and then you're still in the same spot you're in right now, another year later, which I don't want that to happen to you. So finding your gifts, leveraging them, accessing them and learning how to work with them, and then removing what's holding you back, which could be subconscious fears of stepping out, being accepted, shining like I'm supposed to, and no one will understand me. And can I get paid for this? These are all biggies, right? That everyone struggles with. A lot of us struggle with, especially if you're a creative or spiritual entrepreneur. These are the things that we're going to attack in this mastermind. I'm going to remove these illusions. We're going to place something greater in there for you in that space once they're removed, and change it to one of, I am powerful. And this can happen for me, and it's going to happen for me. And then give you the tools to move forward, the set of goals to move forward. So I hope this helps you for today. This was just a very quickie podcast for you. Let me know in the comments if you think this is helpful. Also, if you'd like to join, I will leave the link below. There is a 3-month, a 6-month mastermind. There's also a Kickstart Your Life, which is a 1 session with me where I will go in and I'll do a channeling for you, and then we'll get together on a Zoom afterwards, go over what I found and what's blocking you, and then help you with some goals moving forward. So I've got a couple different options for you, but I would love to mentor you. Please do leave me some suggestions. I will be doing another podcast this week on some of these objections that you're having, these fears that you're having, and tackling these illusions to give you more insight. I hope this helps you guys. I'm sending you so much love, and remember, shine like the amazing creature that you are. You are here for a reason. You are magical. No one can do what you do. And I want you to move forward with confidence and ease because you got this, and I'm behind you. All right, guys, thanks.